Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sandbox Wednesday stream. I'm Alex Florez, aka Kamisazi, joined here in voice, mind, body, and soul by Lucas is right. How you doing, Lucas?
I am doing quite well, Alex. I was a little distracted there for a second because apparently my subscription has run out, and watching a wonderful commercial for protein.
Oh, sounds like they hit the algorithm correctly.
It's actually a brand I use, so I really enjoy it. And this Fruity Pebbles version of it, that's just oh my god, it's so good. How are you today, Alex? How are you?
I'm doing okay. Still, I think my lung congestion is actually allergies, because everybody in town is like, bleh,
Everyone is awesome.
bleh, like just coughing and like phlegmy and nasty. It's because the weather finally warmed up. We had less than a week ago, we had like 2 nights in a row that it was below freezing. We got a frost warning. I don't even know what. I guess a frost warning just means like, watch out, it could be slippery. It wasn't raining or anything. It's just like my phone was like, frost warning. And I'm like, I'm not sleeping outside, so I don't know why it matters. But we got a frost warning, and then it like jumped up to like 71. So I don't know. It's just like right below where I would start considering using AC, just because I'm sitting next to a heating computer all the time. So yeah, but no, I'm doing pretty good. I saw Sum 41 last night. That was fun.
What?
Yeah, I forgot to
say
tell
more
you that
right now.
They're doing their final tour because they're
final.
They're disbanding. They just released their last album.
Oh wow.
And I haven't had a chance to listen to the whole thing yet. It's a double album, and this is that they said like we've been doing this for more than 20 years, I think. When did they started in the 90s, like 96, something like that.
Yeah, they've been around for a hot minute.
Yeah, and so they're like, I think we're done now. We're good. We did enough, which makes me sad as a fan. I've been listening to them since high school.
But at the same time, do you feel like kind of like they've earned it? They deserve this.
Oh, for sure. They can get a break.
Yeah.
They may do a reunion tour or something. Who knows? All the bands end up doing that eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really good show. I was one person away from the front, which is usually where I end up. I'm never there early enough to be on the edge. But I was right behind, and the Interrupters opened for them. I love the Interrupters also. My wife and I enjoy seeing them. I just went by myself this time. I had to drive up to Boston, and it was an excellent show. It was a great show. So if you have a chance if you like Sum 41 and they're in your area, and you get a chance to check them out, they're really good.
They are so good.
Well, one of my favorites. Yeah, it was pretty emotional. They did like a long bow out at the end, and it was a long show too. They played like all their hits and some new stuff. So yeah,
they're like, we're getting it all out there. We're not doing it again. Yeah. So you guys are getting your money's worth. It's a double album show.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think there was only like 3 or 4 new songs that they played, and then everything else was stuff that everybody was singing to. I've never seen fireworks indoors before. I've seen pyro. I've seen like fireballs, and they had lasers and everything else, but they had actual fireworks, like sprinkling what are the sparklers, but then they also had like they had like little ones popping up, and they did like
Roman candles.
Well, I don't know, the explosions made little rings.
Oh,
like almost like
so
a wizard blowing smoke rings.
Got it.
Yeah. But it was it was like a scatter shot of like rings. It was really cool. Yeah, it was a good show. I had a real good time.
Do you know who the band Death Clock is?
Yeah.
Okay, I went to one of their concerts.
How does that work? Are they like projected on the glass, like the ghost of Tupac? Did I said it wrong the first time?
You did, but it's okay. Yeah. We're gonna gloss over that.
Yeah.
Maybe come back to it later as something I used to blackmail you. But the way that they did it was the people who actually play the instruments for the individual band members are on stage, but they're wearing like pure black from like head to toe, like Charlie Green Man costume, but a black version of that.
Oh, okay.
And then they
That
actually
must be
do the
hot.
lighting. It must be so hot. And they do the lighting in such a way that you can see their outlines and you know they're there, but it's really, really hard to make out any details because their instruments are black. They're wearing all black. Like the drummer's drumsticks were black. Like it was black on black on black on black. And
Okay.
and then they have a huge like TV screen / projector up, and then the actual characters are on there doing their thing, and they're just doing it all in time.
Hmm.
And it's so well choreographed. It's so well done. It's so much fun. It's kind of like going to see the Gorillas,
Yeah.
but a lot more fake blood and indoor fireworks. So it was just, it was so cool.
Death Clock is really good too. I don't listen to metal as much as I used to, but I did always enjoy Death Clock both as a show and just like musically. I used to, they're in my iTunes
Talented.
rotation.
Yeah, they're talented.
Yeah, it's good music. We like music a lot. In case you're wondering, chat. How are you doing, chat? You guys are quiet. You just like enthralled in us talking about the music. Oh. We're on YouTube now also. I forgot to mention that.
I was just about to say.
Hello, Feline Fusion from YouTube. You're our first YouTube comment, I think, in over a year. Has it been a year? I think it's been a year.
It's been a hot minute. I've said that twice now. I'm going to stop saying it.
So this is our first show back on YouTube. We got Restream all set up with all the stuff now.
I'm on YouTube.
Whoa. Okay. The Game Maker freaked out for a second there. I think I clicked on this and it didn't like having to load. What did I click on? Was it the actual SMG?
I don't know.
I clicked on something and it was not pleased.
For some reason, I can't get the YouTube chat to pull up.
I see it on Restream right now.
Oh, it was just reloading for some reason.
Second. There's something like slamming in my office, and I don't know if it's a child or what. I will be.
I'm about to say, is it a Maggie?
I don't know.
So we got Feline Fusion and Yiggle the Boss over on YouTube. Really happy to see some people over on YouTube. So thank you for dropping by. Thank you for saying hello. Not to discount our Twitch or Twitter followers. We appreciate every single one of you. But, I think today is one of the first times we're actually doing the stream on YouTube. Oh, wait, no. Cyber Dragon did his as well. Maybe?
Yeah.
We got
because he did
Crafter as well in there?
I think, right?
Yeah.
I'm back.
Hey, welcome back.
So, I don't know. I don't know what it was. It was probably Maggie. Her bedroom's right above my office, and they should be getting ready to leave for dance class right now. So she's probably throwing a tantrum about something. Knowing my daughter. Are these models optimized for Unity? What was that?
She hates to go, but she loves to be there.
She just hates following instructions or being told what to do, or
Gotcha.
Not getting her way. Common problems when you're 6 years old. So are these models optimized for Unity? I don't know about Unity specifically, but they're pretty well optimized for the sandbox, which is built in Unity. As far as, I know how to do stuff. All the models that we make for the sandbox have to go through VoxEdit, which is our voxel software. And I modeled this in as few pieces as possible, while still getting all the details that I wanted. Can't wait for today's weekly update by Panda. There is going to be one. We do have a weekly update today.
We do.
So yeah, this should all still work. It did seem to be, and I'm hearing more slamming. I think she's probably trying to destroy her room or something.
Oh, that sounds aggressive.
If only there was another parent around to deal with her. There is.
Alas, there is not.
Somebody has to drive her to dance class.
Nope, she's taking an Uber.
All right. So so yeah, that all still seems to work. It did have it fired the initial animation kind of early, but because we now have the ability to oh, now it's just on a reload loop. Or is it because I think it's because I aimed at the other gun. Yeah. Which is interesting that it's not shooting though. So we may have to rework some stuff because this was well, I'm basically going to restructure the whole firing mechanic. So this was set to automatically fire before because we didn't have a way in multiplayer to tell the weapon to fire. But now we do because now we have extra controls. So we're gonna do that. I saw some questions pop up in the chat here. Timio says, "Hey Alex, I had performance issues with more than 5 people playing weapons which spawn rockets and bullets." Yeah, so we're actually not using that. We are using a sensor, a trigger volume. Let's see which one is it? It's this one. Yeah. So we're using a trigger volume to actually say everything that's in this area can get hit by damage. And we're doing it this way for a couple reasons. One, we didn't have ray casting when I made this, and I think somebody's getting murdered upstairs. Like there's the thudding is like shaking the things in the office around me.
I can't hear it at all.
I'm like I can't hear it. I can feel it. Like the vibrations are shaking through my chair. So anyway, let's see. We got this trigger volume. So yeah, we didn't have ray casting. Also, I don't think with ray casting, I don't think we can aim it up or down. I haven't had a chance to really check it out yet. So we'll do that in a little bit. So it's not a lot of fun to play a shooter where you can't aim up, for me at least. So what you do, and this is how it worked in Doom. There were elevated areas in Doom, but you couldn't actually aim up. So you would just aim in the direction left to right, and the aim up and down was automatic. Your fire was like a vertical. You'd fire a vertical bullet to everything that was in a vertical line.
You really couldn't aim up or down in the original Doom?
No, there would be monsters like in an elevated area. So the controls for Doom. Now in more recent versions of Doom, and I mean like updated releases of the original Doom, not in not like Doom 2016 or anything like that. But in newer versions of Doom, you might have been able to tilt the camera up and down just for the visual aspect of it, but there was no actual aiming up and down in Doom. And so
okay,
the way the original Doom is actually a 2D game from a map perspective. So the way the maps would work is there couldn't be bridges. So you would have, say, like a water area, and like visually your character would go down into the water, or lava or goo or whatever they had. Is it not? For some reason, I keep on pressing the wrong button. I think it changed. It's Alt. It used to be Control, I think, didn't it? To paint
your
the
guess
surface.
is way better than mine.
So when you'd have a vertical area, it would always be stepped up like this. There was no going under. So the map was actually designed like from above 2D, and all the character positions were tracked in 2D. And so if you saw a character up here, that's because they were on the map just like this, and the map knew to visually offset them vertically in your view. And when you would turn your character to aim this way, it was raycast. It was a 2D raycast to shoot at them. So we're doing the same thing with the trigger volume by just aiming in the direction of it left and right without worrying about aiming up and down. All right. Timio also says, bullets were working fine in Game Maker preview, but on live map they spawn behind you if you run. Yeah, so I would maybe start the offset. If you're trying to do actual projectiles, start the offset like further in front of you to compensate for the run speed. And then, if you're not running, then you'll see them appear further forwards anyway. But that's just going to be a kind of a timing thing. I'm thinking about using VoxEdit to create a model for my game in Unity, but I'm afraid that VoxEdit will say that I'm making money using their software. VoxEdit's a free program.
That's exactly what I said. I said VoxEdit is completely free to use software.
Yeah.
And then Yeagle or Feline Fusions chimed in and said same with Game Maker. So
yeah, there's no
thank you, Feline Fusion.
Yeah, VoxEdit's free to use, free to do whatever you want with it. There's no restriction on using VoxEdit for any particular thing. Yeah, there's nothing to worry about with that. There's no like license of a term of use that you have to use it only for the sandbox. That just doesn't exist for VoxEdit.
In translation, go for it. Enjoy, have fun, and I hope it turns out well.
All right. So speaking of VoxEdit, I do want to make a quick change to the SMG model here, because previously I had made the reload animation be a part of the 10th bullet being fired because of the way I looped the animation. But I actually want those to be two separate things. So we're just gonna duplicate our 10-shot animation. Duplicate animation. We're gonna call it reload. I'm actually gonna call it 0 reload. That way, 0 reload. That way, in the list of all animations, it appears at the top. And
speaking of VoxEdit, you mind if I drop something real quick?
Sure.
So this is from the Sandbox's social media manager himself, Mr. Hammer Mike, an angel of a human being. He's asked me to send this out there. He said, moving forward, if you could ask people to please use the hashtag made in the sandbox when posting about their experiences and assets. And when Mike makes a request like this, it's usually so that he can organize things and have better visibility on your stuff. And since he is the guy who runs the Sandbox's social media accounts, if you want visibility on your stuff or better visibility on your stuff, and he makes a simple request like this, I'd highly recommend following through on it. I'm going to drop that in all the chats so people can actually see it. But once again, that's just hashtag made in the sandbox. And that is the end of that announcement.
All right. All right, so I've removed that. I do need to move this. Oh, I'm still getting the kick though, which I don't want. So basically, I need to like trim the first 3 frames of this animation. And currently, it's still firing, which I don't need it to do. So I really wish I could expand this VoxEdit timeline vertically so I could see all my keyframes at once. But
I was just
currently
about
we
to say,
don't.
can you pull that up a little bit?
We used to be able to when you could pop out
Okay.
the whole thing as a window, um, which is currently not an option. They refactored the way all these windows work to be a little more um, efficient or stable. Really is the reason why. Okay, so I'm just gonna move this one back here, move this one back here,
Ooh,
and then 1, 2. I'll see, it doesn't move it.
from Yiggle the Boss over on YouTube, they asked, "Can you please show me how to make illumination in VoxEdit?" So if you could take one of those voxels and light it up when you have a second, I think they would appreciate that.
Sure. So yeah, that's a there could be 2 meanings to that question. So I'll do one first. So if we jump into the modeler here, so we're working on this part is the back end of the gun and the suppressor. Um, let's say that I wanted to add a glowy red tip to this. If I just do that, that's not actually glowing, but there is a button up here. It looks like a star, and you click that, and it will make it actually glow. Now
Illumination.
that applies a glow material in the sandbox. If you were to move this over to Blender, there would be, actually, I'm not sure. Let's check it out. So I've got my item here. We can save, and I'm going to export to a GLTF. And that's a format that is usable in a lot of other programs, including Blender. Now I think the GLTF does keep the glowing property, but I'm not positive. It's been a hot minute since I've used Blender. I really haven't had to lately. So we import that, and it looks all gray, but it's not actually all gray. We're just in the wrong view. So let's take a look with the textures, and let's see this material.
Also, congratulations goes out to OX Carva. They have redeemed 10,000 sandcastles for an Oak Wizard staff.
Nice. I'll send that out as soon as I can. All right. Let's do. Oh, is my camera not pointing at anything? It has been a while since I've been in Blender.
Oh, you're in Blender now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, why does it look so different? And that is the answer. That is why.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
That's not what I mean to do. Why am I not getting anything in my view render? Okay. Well, I know that these materials do work in Light Tracer. So I'm sure if you are more familiar with Blender than me, and I'm just really rusty in Blender. I've done things in Blender before, but it's basically since Light Tracer came out, I haven't really touched Blender, um, because it's so effective for what I need it for. Um, Sorry, everybody's gonna disappear for a second here while I move this around. And we're back.
It's okay.
Um, so if you're in Light Tracer, you can open up this menu and emission boost. You can raise that if you want it to be more or less glowy, and you can see that it is in fact glowing here. So I'm pretty sure Blender can also grab that information, but you'll probably want to adjust stuff. And then, if you pull into Unity, probably the same thing. If we select on the texture here, I can make it like more red. Now this is going to tint the whole thing though.
Oh.
Oh wait, that's actually not what I wanted. I want to do the emission here. I can make the emission red as well, and then I can adjust the radiance for, brighter or darker depending on what I want. And then you can change it to other colors too. You make it like, if you turn it to blue, it'll make the whole thing purple because it's a red color with a blue emission. So that's that is how you make something glowy in VoxEdit. Is with just this helpful little button here. You do it per color, so any colors can be made that way. So I could do that.
Question for you: could you have one version of that color that's glowing, and then the exact same version of it that's not glowing, or if it's all okay?
Yeah. So you can change all of these color swatches. So you could use the same hex value on both swatches, and then just have one that is
emissive and one that is not.
Yeah. So if I hit copy here and paste here, this is the same magenta, but the one in the middle is glowing.
Okay. Very cool.
All right.
Like it.
So in case that's not what the question was actually about, there is lighting adjustments in VoxEdit. So if you're not happy with the way your view looks to see what you're doing, there's a little light bulb in the upper right-hand corner here, and you can change the direction of the lighting. There's two lights in VoxEdit. So there's checkboxes. You can turn them on or off. So with both off, you get a totally flat, no shade look. And then if you turn one on, you get strictly one directional light, and then you can have two lights, and this way you can kind of light up both sides.
Or according to Lieutenant General, long click plus drag on a color.
What?
From Lieutenant General, or long click plus drag on a color.
Oh, they probably meant about pasting the hex.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you can also long click on a swatch and pull it over to another one. Like that. You don't have to do the copy. So I haven't used VoxEdit a lot since the color palette update. So those handy little shortcuts are not the first things that come to mind. I still do it the old-fashioned way, the hard way. There's a lot of cool stuff with the palettes, because you can even grab, like, say I want to grab from this teal all the way to this dark purple, grab that whole thing, and then I can hit blend or Control B, and it makes a gradient of the whole thing. It's pretty neat. Santa Wizzy is a NPC. All the Wizzies right now are NPCs. We are hoping to launch the Wizzy avatars as soon as possible, but people who have the NPCs get access to early minting. So make sure that you are connected to the Wizzyverse Discord to see all announcements related to that. All right, so I think we fixed the animation here. So the issue I was having with trying to drag the keyframes was that I had selected all, so all the 0 frames were selected, and it wouldn't let me drag them to the left. It's reversed for me when I do that with my hands. I did not use Magical Voxel for making this, but I do use Magical Voxel for work when I'm doing bigger projects.
I was actually just about to ask them if they could elaborate on that, because I was going to say he didn't use it for this specific asset, but he has used it before in his life. Like, I think he used Magica Voxel before VoxEdit. So, yes? Question mark?
Magica Voxel was my first voxel program, and it's still, I think, the best one and the one that I use the most. You know, I'll do for projects that are like more intricate and you use a lot of texturing. I'll do Magica Voxel stuff. But when it comes to making something like this, I usually start in VoxEdit because I'm not just building a straight right angle model. I'm doing this along with keeping in mind how the angles affect everything with alignment and the animation. It's not possible to tilt in Magica Voxel. Magica Voxel is a pure voxel program. There's no anything off grid in it. You can only rotate by 90 degrees, or if you wanted to, that's the wrong one. If you wanted to rotate, if you wanted to rotate this, say like 45 degrees vertically, it's going to destroy it basically. So you can rotate like this in 90-degree increments, or you can rotate like this, and now everything is wacky angles. And actually, I've done like abstract art this way before by going like, okay, I'm gonna rotate everything by like an odd degree amount, and now I've got these crazy textures going on. And the more you do something like this, the more you do something like this, the more convoluted it becomes. And there's going to be a ton of holes through all of this. This is like not at all Unity optimized. This would be like hell on earth for Unity.
Yeah, I was just about to say that it looks like you had all of your sugary cereal all perfectly layered and looking nice, and then you just took the box and went,
yeah, it's terrible.
Pick it all up.
I mean, it can be fun. It can be fun to do stuff with that, but but don't do that if you're doing something for the sandbox. Any other programs that can tilt? Yeah. So Voxel Max. I helped. I don't want to say I helped with the development of it because I did not code at all. But Voxel Max is an iPad app, which was developed by a person who spent some time working on VoxEdit as well. It's compatible with Vox files, which Magica Voxel, VoxEdit, Goxel, basically all the other voxel programs all use the Vox format. And Voxel Max is only on iPad and iPhone for now, I believe. I think it's just for iPad and iPhone right now. But you can do rotations in there, and it's compatible with VoxEdit, so you can do something on the go on an iPad, and then export files for VoxEdit with it. So it's pretty cool. At least I think you can for VoxEdit. I think that was in the works. I can't remember last. I'm going back a couple years now to things that I helped with. And I helped make a lot of the base models that are in Voxel Max. So if you're noodling around in Voxel Max and you like build a robot out of the parts that are in there, I probably made them.
Nice.
All right. So we've got our reload animation, which is just the reload. Everything is in the correct spot. And then we've got our 10 shot, which we are going to take off everything that is after the third frame. I'm actually not seeing oh, because it's in the chamber. I know how this works.
I don't.
I did put maybe too much research into this as I was making it. In a mobile game, so I mean that's one of the goals with the sandbox is to eventually be mobile compatible. But that's one of the struggles is that voxel models tend to be higher poly, which is why ever since the Game Maker was first released, we've been recommending people keep models under 5,000 faces, which is this little face and node counter in the upper left-hand corner. It's probably really tiny to see on your screen. So this entire model only has 254 faces and 18 nodes. So I built it to be as efficient as possible.
I like it.
And without sacrificing the details that I wanted to have. But yeah, some people build
really good,
much more complicated models. Thank you. So it's just something to be aware of. That's why we have the new inspector, validator here. So you run the validator, and it goes error. The amount of actor instances is very high. You have 62 actor instances in your experience. I don't know. 62 doesn't sound very high.
I mean, what is an actor instance? Let's start there.
Any object.
Okay.
So the crates.
Oh, okay.
All these things. Max suggested is 50.
How about this? I have an idea. Why don't we just save where you're at, unless that's a problem, and then load it back up and see if that error message is still there, or see if the error message is still the same.
I mean, we haven't made any changes yet, so I mean, we don't even have to save. We didn't change anything yet. Oh, I guess I haven't saved it for 0.10 yet.
0.10.7?
10.6 in the Game Maker. The game client is 10.7 because they made a fix with ladders and some quests that wouldn't complete. But that was just on the game client side.
Gotcha. Whenever the sandbox does an update, we get those new loading screens and whatnot, and I always enjoy the new loading screens. It's fun. I don't know why I get such a kick out of them. It's like a cartoon that got a new theme song.
It's yeah, kind of that. I mean, it's the same way when I was always disappointed when when iOS or like my phone or my laptop would get an operating system update and there weren't new desktop backgrounds or new like phone wallpapers. It's always like, oh, it's like such an easy win to have like something new and shiny, and to not have that in an update always just feels kind of like, oh, want that little bit of effort to like make it look new and fresh.
So
we get a question from Aaron Joyce?
Yes, we do. Hi guys, in the last live, I have seen Alex created 2 to 3 spawn point behaviors and kept one spawn point as active spawn. What is the use of keeping other spawn points and any ideas on spawn point behavior?
So the reason you might want more than one spawn is because you might have a multiplayer game with teams. So I haven't really explored making team games yet, but you can just click on the spawn point and press Control D, and it will, or Okay, that doesn't work. Control C, Control V. Nope. How did I do it before? I know I've duplicated it before. Did they change what duplicate is? Well, that doesn't tell me. Let's go to our settings. Let's look at what the control list says. Controls. Duplicate is Control D. Ooh. I hit Windows D just then. Sorry about that. Made Lucas freeze probably.
I'm still here, I promise.
Okay. Okay, let's try on the table. Control D. Okay, there's the table. On the spawn plate. Still not triggering for that. I could have sworn I duplicated it last session. Maybe you have to do it from here?
I remember you doing it. I remember from what I remember, it was something super easy. I don't think you went into any sort of a menu to do it. I think it was like a Control C, Control V type situation.
Yeah, which it's not doing now. Let me go to a new experience. It would have been in this one. This experience we started in 0.10. So you want to be able to set multiple spawn points because you might have teams that are going to spawn players in different spots. And you might also use them as a checkpoint system. So you want to be able to set the active spawn point, which is interesting. It's not having that icon. Okay, I just did Control D and it worked there. So okay. I don't know why it's not doing it in the other one. Maybe because it's an older experience. So on these spawn points, you can assign teams. And it looks like you can assign them per spawn point.
Okay.
So as I click on different spawn points, sometimes they assign a team, sometimes they don't. So
you could do. It sounds like you could do like a spawn point, like you're saying, for specific teams. Like red team goes over here, blue team goes over here, and in the same game, you could also do checkpoints within levels.
Probably. So
okay.
I haven't done anything with teams yet.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I don't want to get ahead of myself too much there. But well, this is also just an asset, so you can do. If you look at the basic assets, this is called the spawning point. So you can always just place this as an asset that's not necessarily the spawn point. Like these are just basic assets that you can do anything with. So you could use those as a checkpoint if you wanted. If you set a tag on this, say like you put a checkpoint tag, and you say that avatars will respawn to any tag that has checkpoint, then yeah, they'll respawn there. But you can do that with any asset. So yeah, we can assign a team. Now I haven't made teams before. Let's take a look at the help docs.
While you're doing that, and if I drop a little form.
Yeah. So today, well, actually, while I'm looking for information, you can say what we're giving away today.
Okay. So today's giveaway is going to be a rather extensive one, kind of like the other day. Today we are giving away 100 common catalysts, 10 uncommon catalysts, 3 rare catalysts, and 1 specialty prize. Not going to say what the specialty prize is quite yet. We'll announce that when we announce the winner. But It's a fun one. So everybody, I'm going to throw the form out there. Everybody watching right now should fill it out. We're going to need your Polygon wallet address, username, email address. One second. I'm going to make sure I got that email address on the form. I think I do. One second. Yes, I do. So just fill the forms out. If you're one of the first 100 people to fill it out, you are guaranteed something. And then we'll do a drawing for the 10 uncommons, the 3 rares, and the specialty prize. Alrighty. Dropping that form right about meow. Lauren Soul asks, even the lurkers. I mean, yes, even the lurkers can win, but they have to fill it out. If they just lurk and they don't fill, then there will be no win. I feel like that's fair. We're not asking much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting it up everywhere too. I'm putting it on Twitch and Twitter and YouTube and Twitter post and
So
anywhere I could possibly find it.
I think the multiple spawn points thing only works with teams. So as you're looking at the hierarchy panel, if you right click on the avatar spawner, you can set as active spawner. See how it gets a little blue arrow? You can only do that for one at a time. And that will be, so like here I'm going to spawn on this one. And if I select the other one, I think you can only do it from the hierarchy. I don't see a way to do it here. Right click, set as active spawner, and now I spawn on this side. But I'm still not seeing where the teams stuff comes in, and I'm having a hard time finding in the documentation how you tell teams to activate. If anybody in the chat's done this already, I would like to know how you set it up.
Yeah, that was one of the things that was going through my mind, because I saw that you could label, team, blue team, red team, or whatever, however you want to label them.
Where'd
when
you
you
see
were
that?
in the when you went to the assign team and then team drop down, I'm assuming you can add in there, or no? Or is that searching for them?
Oh, you can just type. I'm a dummy. I'm not a dummy. Lucas will get mad.
Wait, did
if I say that?
Yes, I will.
I caught myself.
I was walking past my wife's office today, and she was teaching a class of like 150 people, and I hear, "I'm a dummy," and I stop, and I just slowly like turn and look at her in the doorway, and she just mutes herself, and she like leans to the side. She's like, "Please don't yell at me. I'm so sorry. Please don't yell. I'm in front of 150 people right now." I'm just like, "You tell them you're not a dummy right now." And she unmutes herself. She's like, "I'm going to take that back. I'm my very kind, very gentle husband just is about to yell at me for saying I'm a dummy in front of all of you. But to avoid that, I have to take it back. So I'm walking things back now. So if I'm willing to yell at her in a business meeting, you better believe I'm willing to yell at you on the air."
Oh yeah, no, I know. I know better.
Thank you.
That's why I caught it. Yeah. No, I for some reason I was thinking I was expecting to see a plus sign like this ad here.
No, I gotcha.
And I didn't see that, so I didn't even think to type it. And I was looking all through these menus trying to find where I could add it, and that's how you.
I am helping.
Yeah, it was right there the whole time. So we're gonna say this one assigns you to blue, this one assigns you to red, and what if can we turn off the active? Maybe we add another one, duplicate, and set this one as active, and then delete it. Oh, the active spawn point can't be deleted. Okay, it won't let us do that. So I'm not sure how it works with multiplayer. Like if it like picks a random one, or if we, I mean, I guess you could pick it for the player basically. Um, but I think the idea is like if you respawn, if you assign a player to a team, and then you respawn them, then that will be their respawn point. So if they do like slash respawn in the chat, they're always going to go back to the team that they're on. Does it give any sort of indication of what team I'm on? I don't think so. So if we go to our...
Did you just pull up a world chat while you were in your own experience?
Yeah, you can do that from the Game Maker now.
Huh.
Yep. I don't know who Game Maker Informatica is.
I'm going to assume they're not actually with Game Maker, but I don't know.
So let's take a look here. We can do avatar features. So if this is the blue spawner, we could add a VFX feature. And we can do visual effect, trail. And do like a blue fire. Message turn on. So we're enabling it start. We're gonna do. Oh, we can't change the color of trail fire.
I was gonna say, are they getting assigned to the spawn points and the teams randomly?
Well, that's the part that's difficult for us to test without actually like launching it to the Game Maker gallery or to the client.
Gotcha.
Color, add. All right, so we're gonna do a blue dust trail. And I'm going to set this one as active. All right, so I've got my blue dust trail here. It says I'm on Team Blue. And I'm going to duplicate this and change this one to red. And we're going to change our visual effects to red. And we're going to set this one as active. And there's red. Oh, it's so pretty. All right. So now if we wanted to assign a team, let's see. I thought I saw something about not being able to change it with messages. Let's see. It says logic will not modify teams. So I think whatever team you're on at the start. Hey, Life in Web 3. Welcome back. Yes, we are back on YouTube. New team broadcast. Yeah, I kind of feel like it's going to randomly assign us. So really the setting active spawn point is mostly for us to test which team we're on.
Okay.
I don't know. Let's share this in the gallery. Team test. And let's see what happens.
So the coding that the Sandbox is made on, it's a Unity based code setup, correct?
Well, yeah, the game maker is built in Unity.
Yeah, the Game Maker is built in Unity. That's a better way
Yeah.
of saying it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I imagine they're probably using like C# or something for the back end of coding. Somebody, oh yeah, Anna Joyce says yes. The spawn point is chosen randomly. Okay, so I guess that confirms uh, what we were looking at. Team test. So yeah, I mean, hopefully at some point we would get the ability to like assign teams. That would be cool. Um, all right.
Like a little waiting room at the beginning where you'd like drag and drop people into different teams.
Right, or even to be able to like switch teams from the chat. I mean, it's so this is me showing my age. Oh, why is there a ground plane? Where did that come from? That's different.
Yes, it is. Wait, is this the entirety of your 1x1 that you're on right now?
Yeah. Yeah, this is a regular 1x1 size, and then it's showing that gray, which I don't think it did before.
Well, hello there. I don't think it did either. I wonder if it's just a momentary glitch or if there's something going on that we don't know about.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
If that's your neighbors.
So I'm pretty sure that if I had I had set the red spawn point as the active one. So setting as active spawn point is really just to for your testing purposes. For you've set up multiple spawn points, and which one do you want to jump to? So if you're making a single player game and not worried about teams, you can duplicate that spawn point all over the place, and sure, you could use them as checkpoints. Actually, yeah, now if you don't use it to assign teams, I wonder if it will still randomly pick one for you. Or if you're gonna have to go and remove those. Not sure. So, slash respawn. And oh, it didn't even like it. Did you see that? It just kind of like zoomed the camera to where I needed to go.
Yeah.
What happens if I do it from further away? I like that. That's fun.
That is interesting.
All right. So if I end session and try to go back in, I wonder if it'll put me on the red team. It did. So it's probably either random or maybe it's like auto balancing, like it'll automatically add new players to whichever team does not have players. So now the question.
Somebody else should load in with you and see what happens.
Oh, too late. Is somebody gonna do that?
I don't know. I mean, every time you load into something, if you tell people where you are, they generally take advantage of it and jump into it with you.
That's true. But I think I mean we at least know that it's either random or alternating the assignment. Go West does not have 0.10 downloaded.
For shame.
So if we turn off the team assignments here, we're gonna not assign team. Not assign team. And let's we're just gonna add a bunch more of these. And see what happens.
Okay.
Now,
And document where people get plopped out.
yeah, if you did assign teams, because remember, we have the drop down list. So if we assign teams, anybody who was on team blue could spawn on anyone that was set to be blue.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone on team red. I wonder what that means for respawning. If you go to like if you go back to the one that you spawned from specifically, or you go to the closest respawn for your team. Well, the I don't know why the game maker kept that active default spawner. Maybe for single player. So that's because you need to test. You might want to test something for a specific team. So you as a game creator are going to want to control where you're spawning and what you're testing. You don't want to have to you hit the play button on the editor and you don't want to be randomly assigned a team if you are trying to test something specific. So yeah, I think that was still my active one there. Actually, I don't have any active. Oh, it is randomly moving me. Well, now it's settled on that one. Weird.
Maybe it's camera position.
Nope. It's definitely decided that it likes this one now.
It's got a favorite.
Yeah. So we're gonna set this one as active. And we're going to share this to gallery. And we're going to make it single player. And really, this is how I learned how to do this stuff. Even though I'm on staff and I can see the change log and I can just ask other staff how to do this, I learned so much just by experimenting. Like this is
absolutely.
This is how I learned most of what I know in the Game Maker. Just by, I wonder if this will let me do this. And what if I do it this way? And what if I do it this way? And it's just experimenting over and over again. So let's go to... Come on. There we go. Oh no, Go West was ready to join in. Well, I think we're past that. Okay, so it definitely likes this one. This one is its favorite. What happens if I /respawn? Oh, you know what? I left on the... No, I did turn off the team assignment, didn't I? I think I turned off team assignment. I just left the colors, the color trail on. So there is, from a single player point of view, it is useful to have the multiple spawns to like test from a location, kind of have those as like saved points they can quickly get to. Mm-hmm. But it may be that you're going to want to delete these things. So let's get rid of the favorite one. Let's set this one as active. And just double check that these aren't assigning teams. They're not. All right, we're going to jump back to the gallery. And see what happens. I said, yeah, okay. So it's still randomly assigning me. There you go, West. I see you in the chat there. Nobody else can see you because I'm in the way. There, I can't point. That's like an awkward angle. You're over there.
What just happened?
They're in the Game Maker chat.
Oh, gotcha.
But I'm in
Okay.
front of
I
it,
was
and
like,
I'm trying to like angle myself to be able to point right there. It's difficult to line that up.
gotcha. Yeah, I had logged out for, not logged out as in left, but like mentally for a second. So I was sending Panda a message, and I come back and you're like contorting yourself, and I was like, what did I miss out on? I'm a little disappointed now.
Speaking of people we see in the chat, not Jackie Chan.
Not Jackie Chan.
With the actual name, not Jackie Chan, and not Yumalitox.
Oh, so nice to see that name in the chat.
Back on YouTube again.
I feel like we got an old friend, and I know he never went anywhere. I know he's been joining us on Twitch and all that, but for some reason, just seeing that name in the chat, it's like getting a hug from a giant lion man. You know, he's nice, he's furry, he's warm, and he's squeezing you. It's a deep embrace, and it's fun.
Ooh, somebody's making a skate park.
What?
Somebody named Joseph is making a skate park.
Joseph.
Well, there's two E's.
I know, but if I was to say that, if my old Greek grandmother was to say that, she would say, "It's Joseph."
But no, the half pipe models look nice. All right, so we're gonna. Why can't I remove my own thing from the gallery? Did they remove the ability to take your thing down? Remove. Now it's in a new place. It's now, if you want to remove something from the gallery, you now do it from here.
Okay. I was gonna say, I can't see the devs removing your ability to remove, because that would just cause things to just overflow.
Right. Okay, so we know that teams are assigned randomly, and if you have multiple spawn points, even in single player, it's still going to pick a random one. So you cannot, even though I had proposed the ability to use those spawn points while building a single player to control different spots, it seems like that is not the best use for them, unless you're using them as just a temporary. I want to spawn over here to test. I want to spawn over here to test. You want to kind of save those and then just remove them later, but you do need to remove them. Otherwise, people are going to spawn in random locations in your experience for single player, which probably is not what you want to have happen. Unless you do, and that's up to you.
Yeah, I can tell you how to live your life.
All right, let's go back to our
Pew pew.
Our pew pew here. So we need to upload this model though. So we've got.
That's right. You were working on that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you finish what you were working on?
Yeah. I was just updating the animations, and everything should be all set. So we're gonna upload to Workspace. Player can't choose his favorite team. Yeah. This feature will be coming soon, is what Cyberdragon says. Well, I would believe Cyberdragon because he is in the know.
He got a big old brain.
He works more closely with the teams that control the stuff than I do. Like I could access this stuff, but I've got other things going on.
You're working on a million different things. He does Game Maker.
I'm sure Cyberdragon works on a million different things too, but he's
Maker?
working on a million different things focused on Game Maker.
Yeah,
I'm not as focused in general.
Was that an ADHD joke?
That was.
I don't like it.
Oh yay, it's saving tags now. Okay.
Nice.
For a while you had to like retype all your tags if you re-uploaded the asset. All right, so that is set. Let's go
It looks
back.
so good. It looks so good.
It is interesting that I can't duplicate the spawn point for this one, though. Which I might want to do. Since it would be like a free-for-all game. All right. I mean, let's try it again. Maybe it's just maybe it's just a fluke. No, nope. It just really doesn't like it. Yeah, for whatever reason, doesn't let me do it. All right. So
Mean.
let's kind of start from scratch here. We're gonna leave all this other stuff to the side and build this as kind of an experiment. So
you want to duplicate it?
Nope. We're gonna start with something fresh here. We're gonna be able to go back and reference this. We'll duplicate the table.
Okay.
Okay, and we've got our animated decoration. All right, so we're just going to call this 0.10 SMG. And we're going to do an animated decoration. Oh, this wasn't in the announcements.
What happened? What happened? Oh,
you can set the default animation of an asset now without using animated decoration. I don't have my reload, so that means the asset hasn't updated. That's so helpful. Yeah, Go West is finally
explain that one to me.
Okay, so for the longest time, we've been able to set an asset's animation using animated decoration.
Okay.
As the behavior. So you do animated decoration here, and then you select whatever it is. So we can say walk. Walk's their default animation.
Okay.
But now let's say this is an NPC and we just want him like going back and forth on a path. And we didn't want to use the random roaming NPC. We wanted him to be like bouncing back and forth like a ping pong ball, just like a guard in a game. Just doing a march in a sequence. Then we would need to make another asset that was a basic platform and make that his parent. So the basic platform moves them back and forth, and then we have the animation that we set, because by default his animation is just idle, right? So he's just standing there. And if we set him as a platform,
Not Jackie Chan says, yeah, about that default animation. Not sure if it actually works in play mode. I think it's still just a preview for Game Maker, I think. Could be a preview of things to come?
Maybe that's why I wasn't in the announcement. Oops. So we'd set it like this, and then you hit play, and then he just goes back and forth. Go West, I see your question about having an Aoki or being an Aoki. You have to be an Aoki. I may have not made that clear in the actual in-game dialogue, but we looked at this like ad nauseum on the Saturday stream, and in order to do the NFT sensor um, for for uh, in-game stuff, you do have to be playing as that avatar for it to activate. Um, which is why you can't use the and function with the avatar sensor. You can use the and function with NFTs that you hold. So you can say you have Wizzy the Blues hat and Wizzy the Greens hat, and if you have both of them, you can unlock a special door. But you can't be playing. You can't have a Rabbids avatar and a Aoki avatar in your inventory in your wallet and play as both of them at the same time. So if you use that and function, it will go. It doesn't throw an error. It just goes, you can't open this because you're playing as Aoki, but you need to be playing as both Aoki and a Rabbid, and you can't do that. So yeah, that's how that works. Okay, so he's moving back and forth. He's just kind of bouncing around. So what if we tell him to walk? Well, he needs to face direction. And we're going to have no wait duration. He's just going to turn around right away. And he's not going to move too fast. Look at destination. And now he just goes back and forth. But before I would have to use 2 behaviors. And now I only need to use 1.
So it's an efficiency hack program.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not even a hack. It's just the default. Like most game builders, you're allowed to select what the idle animation is. And we just never had that up until now.
Gotcha.
So it's been a long time coming, this one. But it's I feel like that should be on the changelog because that's a big deal. So now we can do this with we could loop, look at destination, and do move offsets. We're gonna add some extra points. We're gonna go, oops, not vertical. 5 and 2.5, 2.5, and add another point. And we're gonna go -10 and oh, what? It's not supposed to show that when. Let's try that again. There we go. So now he's just gonna keep on trekking on. Now, I think the loop, they do loop back, like overlapping their steps. Oh, linear, circular. We want circular. I forgot that you can set that. So now we can have him walking in a circle. Except I need to remember to click off of him before I hit play. And also, importantly, oh, he really books it on that last leg of the trip. Basic platforms, or sorry, advanced platforms, whatever this one's called, is a synchronized behavior. So we're not supposed to use NPCs with collision in multiplayer because they do random roll movements and their collision is not synchronized. So player 1 sees an NPC walk one way, player 2 sees an NPC walk the other way, and the server goes, there's collisions both places and probably a third one wherever the game maker says, or wherever the game server says that the NPC moved to, because the game server is simulating itself as a player. The game server is player 0, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So it says that the NPC is in spot 0, player 1 says it's in spot 1, player 2 says it's in spot 2, and whenever a player collides with any of those 3 locations, the game server goes, "You're not allowed to walk there. There's something in the way." And it kind of, you end up getting pushed around by an invisible NPC that's on somebody else's instance. Not the instance, but like their game session. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so the platforms, this kind is actually. Oh, you're very tall, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. I'd say I'm average.
Oh, I think it was just when he started pushing me. It like. Okay, yeah, no, we're the same height. It's just when he pushes me down. Um,
Bully.
so this is a synchronized behavior, so the collision would match up. However, be aware the advanced platform is considered a high impact behavior. So they only recommend a max of 19 of these. So don't do a whole city of like 100 NPCs roaming around with this. That'd be bad. Don't do that. All right. So, yeah, I don't know what you were doing wrong. Not Jackie Chan. Um, it's maybe you were looking at the animated decoration behavior because that has a preview here, somewhere, or it did. Edit logic. Ah, yeah. So when you select the animation, there used to be a preview thing here, I think, but now there's just a button, so you can select the animation and hit play and see what it looks like, and then you can see it sped up, which that doesn't really look 3 times faster. Ooh, slow motion. You could do a slow mo death in a game. I never even thought about that.
Would everything else slow
No.
down or just you dying slow down?
Just the animation for the animated decoration that you select. So like you could have a dramatic moment where like your friend gets yeeted.
I like
Or
it.
or you can play the Benny Hill theme song.
I mean, yeah. If that's not what you hear in your head every single time you see a slow mo death,
Right.
then we have lived very different lives.
Yeah. Um so yeah, there used to be a preview, an animation preview menu here between broadcast type and animations, I think. But that's not there anymore. But we do have, and I guess because we selected animated decoration as the behavior, oh no, we can still select a default animation. So if you click edit logic, the default animation thing goes away. But you can always get it back by exiting that. Is it, or did I just not scroll high enough? Yeah, no, it's hidden. When you click the edit logic button, it doesn't show up there anymore. Yeah. So I mean that's a huge improvement just in efficiency. As long as it's working correctly. I mean, it may have not been working for not Jackie Chan, but yeah, give it another shot. And let me know if it works or not. So that's why this guy's just been reloading constantly here. But we're gonna put him to idle. All right. So we want players to be able to pick this up. We are gonna reference some things from our other SMG here. SMG model. Loading. Too many menus. Come
I'm currently working with too many screens myself.
It's more the game maker is not happy loading all these animation elements.
Yeah.
Say something, I'm giving up on you. Come on. There we go. Okay. Minimize that. All right, so we have a speaker, an indicator, toggle, play sound. Is this not what I picked it up from? How did I pick it up?
Mm-hmm.
Did I pick it up from a donut? Oh, yeah, the donut was pickable. Okay, I guess I did the gun alignment on that. You know what? You know what? I am going to duplicate it, and then we'll just remove the things that we don't need. I feel like that should be a bit of a time saver. So we're going to get rid of all these extra fire behaviors here. And I think I may, for simplicity's sake, just do the one repeating animation. So we pick it up. Opacity and pick up. You know, I wonder if they fixed that too. Because we had the there was a thing where you couldn't pick up an item if it was invisible. I guess it doesn't matter because we're using a logic donut anyway. If you picked up an item and had the visibility off on it, the child would also be invisible. But there were some workarounds, but it ended up with like some weird edge cases in this particular instance. But I don't think we need to worry about it because we're using the pickable item is actually the donut. So we can say the opacity is on because you can't see this in game anyway. Not Jackie Chan said, I noticed another time when I loaded my game, it was playing the wrong animations. Then when I restarted it, it played the correct animations. There have been some quirky things happening, which I'm guessing will get ironed out as time goes on. I think it was Cyber Dragon joined into somebody's game, and their avatar was like all discombobulated, but not for them, just for the other players observing them. It was doing some weird stuff. Is the giveaway still open? Did we close that?
It is. I'm going to close it out shortly.
How many more spots we got open? How many people have joined in?
We got a couple, but I might close it out before we get them all filled.
Oh. Better hurry then.
Yeah.
All right. So we pick up this thing. I kind of want to like clear out all the messages and stuff, but I guess we'll just do we're gonna pick it up. SMG is gonna turn on. You know, we should experiment with using the trigger first. So we're gonna do one off to the side here, and because I haven't tried it this way yet. We're gonna actually use clicking to fire instead of doing the automatic firing. We had to do the automatic firing before because there was no way to do an input in multiplayer. So let's do pickable, and let's just see like, okay, so we can see it. It's not a great position, but that's not what we're doing this for. We're just doing this to know that we can. Now we need a rule. Gameplay. Game rules. We don't need any of this gun frame stuff that never worked. Variables. Delete that. All right. Rules, triggers, mouse input. All right. Select button is left. And then message to send on button down. We're going to say fire. Let's see here. SMG. Do test fire. And SMG dot release test. I don't know if we can do this proximity based though. I think somebody.
Why is that?
I'm just well, I've seen some people do stuff with this, but I'm just trying to figure out how exactly this is going to work. Because we don't want everybody's gun to fire when we press
Oh,
fire.
gotcha. Yeah.
So I'm not sure if this message on button down is going to be like a local message or like a self message. I'm not entirely sure how that part's going to work. So we're gonna have to see like what happens if we have multiple items around. So we get that test fire going. And we're just going to add a VFX to this thing. Just to see that it's going off. And I think
there needs to be some sort of a visual cue for the players so they know what's happening.
Well, it's also, yeah, and it's also for us to see that, okay, we're firing the thing that we're holding and not other ones in the area.
Yeah.
Muzzle flash. I'm gonna offset a little bit. Wrong direction. Okay, that works. And to turn on, we're gonna do the test fire, and we're gonna pick this up. All right, so left click is not making this fire. So it's not receiving the message.
There's a comment from the Puzzle Bros over on Twitter. If you would take a look at that really quick, I'm sure there's just a typo somewhere that I'm just not picking up on, but I think you'll understand what they're asking or saying.
No, those are all real words.
So BOOL.
Yeah, is short for Boolean.
Okay, gotcha. See, I knew you'd understand what they were saying.
Yeah. So Boolean is like true or false.
Gotcha. Oh, I get it now. I totally get what they're saying now. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That, yeah, they're saying that that we need a way to check if the player like holding the object is the right one.
No, it makes perfect sense now. Now I'm picking up what they're throwing down 100%. Yeah. I just needed that one little piece combined or connected.
Did we not get? I feel like we did get broadcast types in rules.
I thought we did too.
Send message. I guess that doesn't really work. Um, See this. I don't think this will send out. Maybe it will. I don't know. Let's find out. But yeah, we don't get a we're not getting a direction to send this to. So basically what they were saying is like we need a way that like when we pick up this item, it knows that we've picked it up and we're in control of it. Yeah, it still doesn't fire. So I'm actually not sure if we're going to be able to use the mouse trigger to fire. How are you supposed to use mouse trigger then? Because it's a pretty simple thing that we've set up here. Oh, we could do release. What if we're not holding it? Is oh wait, now it's working. Because I didn't have it released, so I guess I don't know why it wasn't showing it the first time. So now we can fire this on command. That's pretty cool. Um, but the problem is going to be that if one player does it, they all fire. So I'm wondering if we can define each player as their own team, because there's a maximum of 20 players. So what if we have a team tag so the message only sends to that specific team?
Not Jackie Chan says that could be interesting in its own way. When you pull the trigger, all the guns fire. And not gonna lie, that sounds like a party.
It's like the opposite of a Mexican standoff. It's a Mexican free for all.
Okay.
Mexican.
I don't know where he's going with
fight.
this, but you solved it.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like Puzzle Bros said the same thing in the chat that I was just thinking. So yeah, there's a couple objectives that I have with this. The couple things that I want to have. So the idea is that it's free for all. So there's no actual teams. You jump in and you start playing, and the idea is that this is just kind of like an endless game loop where a match isn't like starting or ending. Some of the most fun games that I played when I was in college was there was just matches going on for like 30 minutes at a time. And instead of like, now Call of Duty, it's like, you get like a 15-minute match at most. But these games were like minimum like 30 minutes to an hour, just because there was such like a high score that your team had to hit, and you jump in at any point and just start running around with all these other people, and we just had a blast. And you could come and go whenever you wanted. Um, so the idea is that it's free for all. You jump in, and these weapons would probably not be scattered around the map to pick up so much as that there would be spawners for them. So we can spawn the preset, um, which would, I think, be. It might end up with like a lot of duplicate spawners, but would probably end up with the being able to control the guns more specific to the player team. Um, or because we can send messages. Is lock instance available to everybody yet? I don't know if it is or not. But now that we can sense how many players have joined, we could lock the instance when there's a max number of players. So that way you could have no more than 6 players at a time or something like
I
that.
see what you're saying. Yeah, just another a way to control the game so that you don't have 17 players on one team and 2 on another, or 16 on another.
Yeah. Let's see. I can't remember if it's instance lock. Dev only. So I mean I can do it, but I want to try to use features that are available to everybody. So yeah, you have people join in, and if the gun is dropped, so ideally you'd have like multiple kinds of guns, so you could do different things with it. So like SMG is going to have like specific range, specific fire rate, specific amount of damage, and there would be other weapons with different variations on that. So that way you have some sort of like a balancing act where people trade off what their preference is on those things. But if we have all those different weapons, what happens when you change them? Are you just going to leave that gun on the ground and then somebody else goes to pick it up and then they can't fire it because they don't have the right team tag? Well, I think we're going to want to destroy it. And now that presets have been updated to hopefully clear the RAM more efficiently when you drop a preset, or when you destroy a preset, basically we would set health on the guns so that way they get a kill message when they get put down, or not even necessarily health. Like maybe they could be a plant.
I was just
Good night,
gonna
Puzzle
say,
Bros.
like, if this was the world of Judge Dredd, nobody can use Judge Dredd's gun except for Dredd. So somebody else picks it up and it just explodes in their hand. Yeah, it just explodes in their hand and just takes their arm off. So, I mean, only people on your only people being able to on your team being able to use your gun. That kind of, I mean, I kind of dig that.
Yeah. But we also don't want all these items laying around. So I'm thinking very much like Quake 3 Team Arena kind of gameplay, just running around, fast paced, pick up a thing and run with it, go. So yeah, so I can see that we can use the message to fire. We may need to look at using teams to define like ownership, and then when you come to a spawner, a spawn location for these items, I'm trying to get a good view and I keep on falling off the edge. When you come to a spawner for these, instead of it being just a generic one that any player can pick up, maybe it's going to spawn one that's unique for you, and when you put it down, it disappears. I'm also thinking it's kind of funny just being able to fire it remotely.
I mean, some Breaking Bad stuff going on there.
I was thinking like you do a tower defense where you like you control
yeah,
all the towers, because we already know we can damage other players with stuff like this. So yeah, just put down turrets, but fire them manually as the players are running through your traps.
Oh wow,
that's fun.
Yeah, not
Um,
Jackie Chan said like a sentry gun, so we're all on the exact same page there.
yeah. Hey, Hoddle. How's it going? Um, so yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to look into more on the teams, the tags, and the arguments to see what exactly I can define to try to make this work for one player at a time. Just because it's as funny as a Mexican not standoff. What did I call it?
Mexican free for all.
Mexican free for all. As much as that sounds funny, I don't think it would be as effective or really the what I'm looking for here. So we've got that working. But having it work for multiple players is going to be a challenge. Um, you know what? I think probably. Hmm.
Hmm.
I think instead of having the message, so right now it's very simple. I attack, and that sends a message to make that fire. Um, but if I can have the attack maybe run through something else first. Mm,
Hmm?
yeah, I'm my head's like looping through too many ideas too quickly. Um, so yeah, basically any mouse input from any player is going to start this message process. Hmm. But if I activate, yeah, I really wish that I could do this with an argument per player, but I don't think I can.
Not
Um,
yet, at least.
yeah, I can set an argument of a number or text, um, but that won't be variable per player. That basically there's no way for me to change what the initial input is. It's always going to be all players, unless there's something that I'm missing. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna have to look into it some more. I'm getting the feeling uh that I'm not gonna have a way to do it the way that I want.
Okay.
um, which does make me curious. I did see somebody make make a game where you play as tanks. So
Uh, Tiny tanks or something like that.
yeah, and I'm curious how
Yeah.
they got those to fire per player. Um, we're gonna hop
Oh,
out of this for now. Um, and I'm gonna jump into the launcher. I think it's featured right now.
I think it is as well. I think it's on the homepage.
Here we go. Um, maybe color differentiate NFT limits to team or group. Um, not sure what you mean, Lawrence. I think I'm missing or misunderstanding the context there. Um, oh, Tiny Tank Mayhem was actually made by the Sandbox. I thought this was like a UGC game. So this was made by somebody on staff. Fire using your mouse buttons. Left click is short shot, right click is long shot, score by being the last thing standing, win by scoring 6 times.
Short shot and long shot. Really?
Yep. So we're here in. Well, you pick up your tank.
I often pick up tanks, so this is nothing new. Go
Oh,
on.
interesting. It forces it to be held by you. I didn't know they could do that.
Carrying somebody else.
Like I can press E to put it down,
Okay.
and then it snaps onto me. And I didn't actually know that was possible. There's several things here that I'm not sure how they were accomplished. So you
Seems like
run
somebody
in here.
needs to send a couple emails after the show's over.
Yeah, or I mean, I think I have access to this account. I can just look up what they did.
Oh, really? You'd be able to log in and just like look at the building
I think
blocks
so.
for all of it?
If it's the account, I think it is. Yeah.
That's awesome.
This is advantage of being staff, but I can look at how this stuff was built. Saves me bothering a level designer if I can just figure it out on my own.
No, it's totally fair
because they got their own things going on. So somebody's up there. Come down and play. Hey, okay, all right. So, oh, there's 2 people. Okay, yeah. So we each fire individually. So somehow they're making left trigger fire per player. And I wonder if I'm overthinking it. And maybe you don't need to define that. Maybe the triggers. I wonder if the inputs only send for the player who does them. Like if I left click, it's not actually doing anything for the other player because it's like splitting the difference between multiplayer and single player. Can I pick up your tank?
That would be
like
wonderful,
run away from your tank real
think you
fast and I'll try
can.
to pick yours up.
Oh.
Drop your tank.
I had to guess, I'd say it's probably go west, but I don't actually know. They're always just waiting to jump on in. They're such a good sport.
I played this real
yellow.
quickly the other day, and I felt bad because I won like 10 times in a row.
And why would you feel bad about that? They just need to get good.
Well, I felt like I don't know. It was just I was like, bam, you're dead. Bam, you're dead. Wow.
So, will you demonstrate the difference between a short shot and a long shot real quick?
Yeah, I actually had never fired a long shot before, so this is a long one.
Well,
it goes really far.
And does it matter like how long you hold the button for, or is it just
no?
It's the same no matter what.
Yeah, it's the same.
Okay.
Although I wonder because you can sense a click on I think you could set it up to change the range because we have a message on click and a message on release. So if you were to put like a timer in there, you could potentially use that timer to set a variable. I wish we could pass variables into arguments. That would be cool.
One thing real quick. When you say pass variables into arguments, what does that mean? And 2, I've got a question for Play Game for Fun when you're done with that.
Sure. So we have variables which are like the players in arena that we have up there, or the score in the middle. Those are variables those are numbers that are set by logic that's happening in the game. The arguments are things that we've used to like set numbers for messages when they're related to like advanced use of a message. So you can set a timer with a single message, but use different arguments to like change what that timer is set to. So if you wanted to like do like a weather transition, you could have it take place over 10 seconds or 20 seconds, depending on what you set the argument for that transition message.
Okay.
And that way you can use the same weather logic to, you know, transition from like rainy to sunny. They got me. Use the same logic donuts, but use different arguments on the message that changes the weather to have it take a different amount of time, depending on what you're doing with that transition. So it's more efficient that way. You're using less logic donuts and less assets to do that setup, and just changing what the message is. But it would be cool if we could say, hey, this variable, let's say like we have a timer start on mouse left click, and it starts counting seconds that you're holding it for, or like tenths of a second that you're holding it for, and then you have it stop the timer on release, and it passes the amount of time that you spent holding as the argument for the amount of power behind the firing mechanism of the projectile. Something like that would be neat. When you do actual like coding for a game and not like a no code game maker, you can do more stuff like that, because you can say, hey, this number is over here, we want to use it over here, and you can make that as dynamic as you want. In the game maker, because we're not using code, we're more limited to like follow, like this kind of information could be put here under these conditions, and we can't necessarily mix and match. Oh wait, yes. they put down their tanks. I didn't notice until it was too late. Try it again. Okay, grab yours. Oh, what? I tried to grab yours. How are you? Do you not see me leaving mine? Why is it just me? You're just over here.
Interesting question.
Dancing and stretching.
I mean, you got to stretch before you dance.
If I do a dance,
or during. I mean, if not, you're just gonna pull something. Hey, Alex.
Oh, it's proximity based.
Oh.
You can stand out in front of it. I've never used the stickers.
Those are new, I believe. Oh, wow. That's so cool.
So yeah, it's proximity based. It's because I got too far away from my tank. It snaps it back on, so you can walk outside of your tank. Just a little ways.
What do you think the range is on that? How far away from it can you get?
Like a meter or two.
Okay. So, you know, good amount of distance, but nothing crazy. No football fields going in there. Unless they're really tiny football fields.
Very small football field. Ooh, we got the green one.
Oh, that's cool.
So pressing E snaps it back onto me also. Like,
I feel like somebody bought an extra skin and it was well worth it.
Yeah. So even trying to press E on somebody else's
isn't going to do anything.
Oh, I stole your tank!
I spoke too soon. I waited this whole time. And
all right, we're playing GTA Online now.
Hey, Alex, why didn't you steal the green one?
And now I can run away from it. Oh, I've escaped.
You took the red pill.
I did. Oh, now I got too close again. Oh, and I got locked in.
Oh,
They shut the door on me.
they literally shut the door on you. That's wonderful. Okay, got a question from
Yep.
Play Game for Fun.
Yep.
They're asking us to check something out, and I assume they mean on air. And if not, well, it's too late. Can you check this out? Can you check this one? One second. Can you check this one and let me know what you think? Maybe give some advice how to improve it before minting. They're showing. They sent us a link to their Twitter where they're talking about a Play Game for Fun coin. And being a graphic designer and a coin maker yourself, I thought you would get a kick out of checking this one out and maybe giving them some feedback on it.
Okay. All right, the text looks nice. How big is this though? I'm guessing these are single voxels, so this thing's probably about a meter square. Um, oh, I see. Okay. In my head, I thought this was like keyboard keys at first, but now I see it's moving, so it's like Galaga. Um, we got sword fighting, and then uh, is this supposed to be a joystick? I may be missing a reference if it's not supposed to be a joystick.
Hmm.
Um, so the text looks great. No notes there. Text looks really good. Um, Personally, and this is just me on coins,
Mm-hmm.
I like having an edge to them. Just
Hmm.
because to me that's a very coin thing. Like
No,
I
I know
know
exactly
not
what you
all.
mean.
I've actually got some coins. So
Like a little
like
bit of a lip on the edge.
yeah, because even like a penny is smooth on the edge, but it does have a little ridge. But I like the quarter because, and of course you can't see it because the camera won't focus that close. But quarters have the that you can probably hear my
Lip.
nail dragging across it.
Yeah.
It's got uh the ridges on the edge, and to me that's a very cool thing. But that's like a personal preference of a design choice. But to me it makes things feel like coins visually. So that's why.
No, I like the
Um,
idea of adding a lip to it. I do think that would add a very coin-like feel to the asset.
mhm. pull up pull up coins that I've done. Um,
Done a few, I know.
just a few.
Just a, just a couple.
Um, I didn't make all of these, but even because you can see like in on the Fun Guy coin, they have a lip, and then they also have. I like this too, where there's and you can see it on the ones that I made. It also has it, where there's like a dark spot in between, so it looks like multiple layers of metal kind of like squished together.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the Boop Boop coin, there's also an edge, a ridge to it. Um, so I do like having the little ridge marks, as well as a raised edge, and like a sandwiched texture to it. But like I said, that's totally a personal preference, and you could do it in different ways. Like you could make this like a glowing sandwich if you wanted. Like you could have it be the same colors that you had here, but then just in between these layers, have it be like a emissive version, or just glowing white or something. It just adds like a little texture to it. Um, yes, not Jackie Chan pointed out that the ridges were to prevent people shaving off the edges of silver to yeah to be like, haha, I have silver now, melting down the coins.
Oh, I didn't
And
know
now our
that. I thought
coins
that
are
was
made
for
out
like
of
machines.
yeah, no, I think it predates like vending machines
Hmm.
for the most
Yeah,
part.
you're right. They probably absolutely do. When I was a kid, I always thought that was so the vending machines, like they had something to latch onto as they were filtering it through.
So yeah, I like the Space Invaders. I would maybe make them different colors, because my first thought, like glancing at it, is that it looks like a keyboard, just because of the way they're offset from each other, and they're all gray. Um, so maybe if they were different colors, um, or even I think you could do this in one model. Have them be rotated 45 degrees so they're like at an angle. Um, so that way they're not looking like straight keycaps. Um, but you can still have them with the gap and still do it in a single model, like a single. It's easier for me to just show it.
Yes.
Instead of doing it like this, which is what you currently have. Oops. I don't know why I did it this way. I did it the wrong way. There. So instead of having it like that, have them be rotated and be like that. So that way you're still using like the same amount of faces, the same amount of nodes. Or I guess you're using multiple nodes for these anyway, because you get rid of some of them in the battle. Like some of them get destroyed, right? Yeah. So that combined with just having like different multiple colors on them would make them look more like the rows of like aliens or space invaders or whatever. Um, the sword. Um, because the sword's already rotating, I don't really see a reason for it to be like that, as opposed to, oops, like that. It would end up being about the same size, about the same length, because it's diagonally 3 and straight you would do 4. And then you could do it, like that. And it might, I mean, it's not ambiguous what it is. Like I could definitely tell that it's a sword fight. But it would help give you, a little nuance to that detail. Um, those which are hit are single. Okay, yeah. Shouldn't be a copyright violation. No, it wouldn't. It's that ship has sailed, because Space Invaders was what would be a copyright violation is if you isn't there an emoji for it? Is it alien? Yeah. So I'm not actually sure how this became an emoji. But this is likely trademarked or copyright. So if you were to do that shape, that would be a problem for Space Invaders. But doing just a dot, like those kinds of games have lots of imitations of that game have been made. Galaga and Galaxian are the successors to Space Invaders basically. So doing that style of gameplay is not a problem. I think even the shape that you used for the ship is not the same as what it is in Space Invaders. What does the ship even look like? Yeah, the ship doesn't even look like that in Space Invaders. It's kind of looks like that sort of, but like bigger.
Also, in case of an uploading, should it be a pass or should it be a prop? The coin for the game for fun.
So there's gonna be a new coin option.
A coin option, you say?
I think. I'm trying to actually remember. So in the next few weeks, there's gonna be a new update to like what categories are available. I think I put coin
as an option for a category.
I thought I did, but now I'm not seeing it.
Them danged gremlins stole it away again.
I'm checking what options I put. Okay, so little sneak peek on something that I was working on. So collectible, consumable, effect, platform, sign switches, key, hazard, NFT frame, collision model, and checkpoints are the new categories I made for the gameplay subcategory. So I would probably put it as a collectible. Okay. I think that's what I selected for my own coins as like, what they should be updated to be. Spinning sand coin. Yeah, so I'm personally picking collectible for the spinning sand coin. Because I had to go through all 8,000 minted layer 1 assets and select what the new categories would be for them because we can't like open up the editing again for those. And they're already minted. So like I made all these new categories and try to pick ones that made sense for everything. So you'll be seeing an update if you have layer 1 items on those. I worked very hard on it.
Nice.
But yeah, so personally for like the Boop Goop coin, the fungi coin, my coins, I think I put those all as collectibles. If you are specifically using it as a pass, then you could pick pass. Pass is like kind of whatever you make it to be. But really the point of having the pass category is if you expect players to be looking for passes to play things or to get rewards, then you might want to pick pass. But a pass could be an NPC, could be a plant, could be a car, could be whatever.
It could be anything.
Yeah, a pass can be anything. The purpose of that categorization is so that way, as somebody on the marketplace going, ooh, I wonder what tokens there are out there to like unlock different things, they might go to the pass category and look at all that stuff. So that would kind of be the case where you'd want to use that.
I'm picking up Stone Down.
Yeah.
Also, I believe we still need to play the news, and we still need to announce these winners.
So how about we play the news?
Okay.
We'll take a little break here. We got the news from Panda, so we'll see you back in a few minutes. I'm not sure how long the news of the week is this time, but we'll find out.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
See you soon.
Hello everyone and welcome to the news of the week. First up, we have events. Lion Gate's Action City opened until May 5th, so you really don't have very long on this one. Go check it out. This has a reward pool of 50k sand for avatar owners, only for the Hellboy avatar owners. So go check this one out. This is, even if you aren't an avatar owner and you want to play a really good game, definitely check out Action City, because this is just absolutely spectacular. So do check this one out. Next up, we have Habbo Space Hotel. So if you are a Galaxy Habbo avatar holder or a Habbo Genesis avatar owner, there is a 140k sand prize pool split between these. You complete the progress, 47 EP. Really cool experience. Definitely go check this out. Do make sure that you are checking out the events on the event page. We have lots of different events that are appearing, including game jams. And talking about game jams, let's take a quick look at one that you can register for right now. The Impact Game Jam registrations are open. The theme has not been revealed, but this is in partnership with Radical Exchange. 60k prize pool, 20 lands given out, and catalyst packs. Make sure to have a good read of here. Do register by May 6th, and on May 6th there will be the reveal of the theme, the prize breakdowns, what are catalyst packs and each tier, key dates. So these are all the important dates of registrations, submission deadlines, as well as the award ceremony that will happen over on Twitch. There will also be a 0.10 AMA this week. If you're seeing this after the AMA, you can check it out on YouTube, where we re-upload all of our live streams. Now, let's go into the mentions of the week. Firstly, we're mentioning an experience, which is the Underwatch. It's a multiplayer tag game by the Puzzle Bros. Now, they have created a lot of really good experiences within the sandbox before, and so we're just highlighting them right here. And this is a multiplayer experience. Amazing assets. Definitely go check out this experience. Once again, it is called the Underwatch. It's a multiplayer tag game by the Puzzle Bros. Artist that I'm mentioning, and hopefully I'm going to say their name right, is Kisaragi Crack. I saw this amazing asset pop up on Twitter, and I just had to share it. It's so beautiful. Obviously, there's a lot of nodes here, and there's lots of different styles of assets that people can create in VoxEdit. I just love the detail and the animation of this particular asset. Next up is, and I'm gonna say their name wrong, Suka 3D Artist. Adorable little character. Look at him. He's so cute. He's just so much like little bits of detail in here without it being overly stylized. Really like this. It's like a very sandboxy style. Absolutely amazing. Do go check them out. Next up, I do want to mention a creator, Go West. Now, not only have they created their own experience, Slay the Hidden Dragon, but they also make tons of great YouTube videos that you should definitely check out. Showcasing so many experiences. They play so many experiences and they make videos of all the experiences that they play. So definitely do go check out Go West, because they are creating amazing videos and content within the sandbox. So once again, go check out Go West 927. Another creator I want to mention is Dankoi. Now, they have been in the sandbox for a really long time now, and they've got these amazing videos and tips to help loads of people. Right here, they're showing you how to do some cool mechanics in Game Maker 0.10, which looks really, really cool. Definitely go check out Dankoi's stuff. They are making amazing videos. They are really helpful tips on Game Maker for sure. So definitely check out Dankoi. And now back to your regular scheduled content.
And we're back. How's everybody doing? By the way, for
I'm
the Habbo
amazing.
Galaxy avatar holders, there's a problem. For the avatars that is purchased from OpenSea, they don't appear in Sandbox accounts. That is known. It's been reported internally.
Ain't no party like a PandaPops party like a PandaPops party. Whoop whoop.
I still don't have the overlay visible. Do it again. What was I saying?
Do what again? What's happening? You're talking about the
It was a
Habbo
PandaPops party.
avatar.
It was a PandaPops party.
Gotcha.
But I didn't have the overlay turned on, so nobody saw it. They could just hear it. And somebody did it during the news, and then I had no way of stopping it. It was already in process. So yeah, the Habbo thing.
Ain't no party like a PandaPops party like a PandaPops party. Whoop whoop.
Well, why couldn't you see it? I thought I turned it on. I don't know why.
See, I love when this happens because I think you're pausing for dramatic effect because I have Twitch muted.
Right.
So I don't hear it anyway. And so I don't hear it. And now I don't see it either. And so all of a sudden Alex is just like,
yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it's not working right now. So I forgot what I was saying. Oh, Habbo Hotel. So I think it's Labor Day in Europe or something like that.
Oh.
There's a holiday. So the staff who is in charge of
thanks to the
event.
Wait, what?
Now everybody's doing it. So the staff that is in charge of either extending that event or whatever ends up happening, they're not in today, but they should all be back tomorrow, and a decision will be made, and something will happen. So there's a bunch of staff who are aware. Just the people who are like in control of that specifically are, they have the day off as they're required to, I believe.
They work hard. They deserve a break. We're going to allow this.
So
we're not going to be too mean to them.
So yeah, it's been reported a whole bunch of times in staff. There's a bunch of staff people who know, and something will happen with regards to that. There will be some decision made, and I'm sure it'll be announced when that happens. All right. We got winners.
We do.
Who are our winners?
All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to announce everybody that filled it out. So actually, Alex, you correct me if I'm wrong here. Everybody that fills it out gets the 100 commons, and then you can win a common and you can win an uncommon. Is that the way it works?
Up to the first 100 entries.
Correct. The first 100 entries. So if we only have 100 entries or 100 people that filled it out, then somebody that wins a common will also win an uncommon.
Yeah.
Could. Okay, cool. Just making sure I had understood correctly. Okay, so I'm going to read off the first 10, and that's the 10 uncommon. Then I'm going to read off the next 3, and those 3 win rares. And then I'm going to read off the super secret giveaway prize. So to start, we have Nervex74, Lauren Soul, Lori G783, Folklore Studio, Cowley Thao, Thao, Astero Prel, Alk Shrew, The Bitfox, Penske's Owns, and finally, Vodact. All of those winners were from our Twitch channel. Next, we have the 3 rare giveaway. 3 rares that we're giving away. Little Legion Org, Crypt258, and El Ray DXVID. David? Maybe that's David. El Ray David. I'm going to go with El Ray David.
Okay.
Finally, we have our super secret giveaway. Today, we're giving away a Spoin. I don't know if all of you know what that is or not, but the Spoin is
I'll show it on screen.
Yeah, so the Spoin is a coveted item amongst the Sand fam, the OGs. There are not many of them out there. They very rarely change hands. There are how many spoins in existence every year? You
30.
guys, there's 30 total.
It's
So
not
you've been
every
doing it
year.
for 3 years.
There's 2 from 2021.
Okay.
Sorry, 2020. They're even older than I thought. There's 2 from 2020 and 1 from 2023. I don't have the 2023 one. I don't have one with Luke. There we go.
I got one of those. That's the only one I got.
There we go. Pulling it up on screen. Hey, Lucas moved a little bit. Sorry. All right. So this is Spoin 2023 with Lucas's face smiling brightly.
This is from the day where my camera froze because I was going through some power/internet issues that day.
Oh, right.
And jokingly, somebody was like, we should turn that into an NFT. And Alex was like, I got you, fam.
Yeah. And then we've got the Extra Life 2020 edition.
That's so cool.
This was for people who donated to Joe's stream for Extra Life, which is a children's charity for the Seattle Children's Hospital, I believe. And this was the original one, Spoin 2020. That started it all.
That's so cool.
And we're gonna let the explanations slip into the mythos and not explain it.
Today's Spoin winner goes out to friend of the family over on YouTube. We've got Yuma Leadox. Congratulations, my friend. You have won yourself a fancy, shiny, golden Spoin. Don't spend it all in one place. And I hope you use it to buy a fancy record player or maybe some bubbly gum. Who knows? Go wild. Enjoy.
Don't spend it all in one place, but buy some gum with it.
Yeah, buy some gum.
Okay, so
not legal contender.
I am snooping here.
Oh, is this a tank?
This is a tank. Each one has a different color.
Tank.
So the idea that we had a different spawn point for each player, I think, is accurate. Because there's a bunch of these. There's black, cyan, blue, purple, green, red, lime, white, yellow, brown. Yeah, there's a bunch. And if we look at the way it's set up, we're doing an if else, and it checks for a variable. Blue ready to shoot, tank, blue shoot. Message when false is nothing. Tank. I'm gonna have to dig into this more. Let's see. Win condition, players playing. This is probably checking how many people are playing. Wait, a player playing, round end,
when
player killed. What's up?
All the way on the right, there's a little symbol that looks like a target. If you hit that, does it bring you to where it is in the menu?
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow.
Yep, it's the same on the hierarchy panel in the Game Maker.
I didn't know that was there either.
Yeah. If you well, okay, so the button's not visible anymore. There used to be a visible button for it, but you right click, or wait, oh, it's when you hover over it. That's why. So it'll jump you to the things. Look at this logic cluster. Looks
Neato.
like a bowl of SpaghettiOs.
Oh, now I'm hungry. I'm always hungry, so that's just.
All right, so we got HUD, round timers, banner pop-ups, win condition, all the different shoot ones. But interestingly enough, none of these are doing the player control with the click. So we've got the long shoot. If else, long shoot. Where is it sensing what the player controls? Oh, here we go. New rule set. It's under new rule set. Mouse yellow. Left tank check. Tank reload. Okay, so tank check is checking which tank you've got. And then it's resetting the attack with the tank reload. So you got your left click and your right click. I'm gonna have to dig into this more because there's a lot of stuff going on. But what I'm really curious about is how it's forcing the player to hold the thing. And yeah, I'm gonna have more to look into. So I'm gonna figure out how this thing works. We're gonna dissect it, and then we're not gonna use the projectile, because we're using our hit scan system. But hope the goal is that the logic is made more efficient, because instead of sensing an enemy and making the gun auto fire based on that and having this whole triggering system, just let the player click the button to fire. So we're trying to like really make this first person shooter engine much more efficient, and if we can get that to a place where I'm happy with it, then we can actually build some arena levels and maybe even release this thing as a template where you can build your own spaces and just use those items.
Yeah,
we'll see. I haven't discussed this with anyone yet, but I know how to do it. So we'll stay tuned. We'll try to do more. Saturday. I'll be here Saturday. I thought I saw a question though in the chat. Do we have any other questions we haven't answered yet?
I don't believe there's. It's got ranking on.
It's got ranking on the side, which I don't
have. Is this a different version of Game Maker from a woke zombie over on Twitch?
I think I have ranking, and I think that's because I have a staff account. This is related to the high scoreboards, which is not available to everybody yet. I don't have a different version of the Game Maker. It's just like it's just like instance locking. It's there, but you can only activate it if you have a staff account. Haven't discussed it with anyone. I mean, I haven't discussed making this a template that's available to everybody else. Like, the tools are there, but I've not used them before to like publish my own template to the Game Maker. I should talk to somebody before I do that so I don't mess something up.
That's fair.
But this is just me thinking out loud. Like, it would be cool if I made a template out of that. And I'm sure the answer would be yes, as long as it works correctly. But I want to talk to somebody before I click the button to do it because, I don't want to break something. All right. Well, I guess that's it for today. We're going to go see if we can find somebody to raid. I didn't figure out as much as I wanted to, but I also figured out a bunch of stuff that I didn't realize yet. So I definitely have my work cut out for me figuring out what all this means. I may have to bug a level designer to figure out what the heck they did. And
Witchcraft.
Nah, try and break it, keep the devs on their toes. Well, I count as one of those devs, so I try to not get my coworkers too mad at me too much. That's
Yeah, it's fair.
yeah. Anyway,
Well, doesn't look like there's anybody for us to raid today.
okay, no raid. Well, we'll see you all Saturday then. Have a great rest of your week, and if you're interested in figuring out how these extra controls work, hopefully I will have learned it a little bit better myself ahead of time, and we can figure out the rest together and answer all of your questions. We will see
Looking
you
forward to it.
Saturday. See you, Lucas.
Bye, everyone. Bye, Alex.
Ain't no party like a PandaPops party, like a PandaPops party. Whoop whoop.